Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Bias, a prejudice in favor or against one thing, person, or a group compared with another, usually in a way considered to be unfair. Canelo Alvarez, is he really pulling out of the Caleb Plant fight? Look, let's just break it down honestly and objectively as possible. And Blue Blood Garbage TV has recently come out stating that Canelo Alvarez threatens to pull out of the Caleb Plant fight after Plant calls him a cheater. So he's basically saying Canelo Alvarez is going to pull out of the fight because he was offended that Caleb Plant called him a cheater. Now, the interesting thing about this is it makes zero sense for Canelo to do that. One, they have a signed contract. You can't just pull out because you heard something when someone said that you didn't like. Two, Canelo Alvarez has been chasing this fight down again and again and again. Why would he throw it away over some idiotic words of someone calling him a cheater? And three, Blue Blood Garbage TV is an absolute crackhead. I mean, look at this guy. This guy looks like a wino, a crackhead, and a junkie all put together in one. He's talking about Canelo going to be destroyed against this guy, all of this stuff, but yet his teeth have been destroyed. I mean, let's be honest and unbiased about who Blue Blood Garbage TV is. He has no sources. He has no proof. Canelo Alvarez never said he was pulling out of anything except this man's mama. So at the end of the day, you're talking about Canelo Alvarez and you're making up lies. Even if you check his description, who is his source? What is the source that Canelo did this? It's not on any of his social media. It's not on any of his trainer or manager's social media. It's not on any of his promoter's social media. So where did you get this statement? There's no active interviews of Canelo Alvarez saying anything like this. So what is your source? Where did you get this? And he lists his source at the bottom. Blue Blood Sports TV. This man is garbage truck juice. And if you support this, if you believe this, then you got to be smoking too. But let's keep it going. Then we get to Dante's fat ass cheeseburger nation. And this guy came out and says the same thing. Canelo Alvarez announces he's pulling out of the Caleb Plant fight if Caleb Plant keeps talking about PED use. Now, Canelo Alvarez, once again, never said anything like this, never made any such threats. And, after checking everything, it's just a wonder that any of these guys get any type of views or viewership after blatantly lying to people. But I guess telling people what they want to hear is more important than telling people the absolute truth. See, what happens is when you're a man like Dante and you have man breasts, it looks like this guy needs to be worried about getting those things tucked into a bra rather than Canelo Alvarez. I mean, at the end of the day, if we're going to be honest and unbiased about everything, you have almost 100,000 people that have listened to these two idiots. That's why I keep having people come up to me. Is Canelo pulling out of the fight? Is Canelo pulling out of the fight? You have to stop listening to liars. These guys are trying to make money by pushing a narrative. They do not like Canelo Alvarez. They do not like the fact that he's the face of boxing. They do not like the fact that he's beating all of the guys they said he couldn't beat. They don't like the fact that he's fighting all of the guys they said he would never fight. These guys are pushing a narrative to make money. Why in the hell do you think Dante's so damn fat? Because he's eating good. He's eating good. No one with floppy breasts this big is not eating. This man needs to hit a gym instead of hitting a microphone. Let's be honest and unbiased. But not only that, a lot of people want to call Canelo Alvarez a cheater. A lot of guys want to push these narratives. But when you look at when Canelo Alvarez destroyed Callum Smith's arm, an undefeated world champion in his prime, they didn't want to give Canelo Alvarez credit. They never called him a drug cheat because he passed all of his VADA tests, so they couldn't call him a drug cheat for fighting Callum Smith and destroying his arm. They couldn't because he passed all of his VADA tests. There was no question that he did not cheat in that fight. So what did they say? They said it was an advanced cherry pick. They said that Callum Smith was paid to lose. They said it was staged. They said it was a fake fight. They came up with 10 other excuses not to give Canelo Alvarez credit, but they never called him a drug cheat. Let's be honest and unbiased. Their narrative changes from day to day. You see, the other one, Canelo Alvarez destroyed Avani Yildirim, who was a mandatory fight. They turn around and say, oh, this guy's a cherry pick. They don't say that, oh, Canelo Alvarez was juicing. He was drugged up, juiced up for that fight. Why? Because he passed all his VADA tests yet again. Juiced up fighters don't keep passing VADA tests, stupid. They simply don't. These guys need to go back to school and understand what all of this means. Canelo Alvarez destroyed this guy because there's levels in boxing. That's all it is. But yet they try to call Canelo Alvarez a cheater now, but they wouldn't then. They simply call this a cherry pick. How in the hell a mandatory fight's a cherry pick? These guys can't make it make sense. Then Canelo Alvarez broke Billy Joe Saunders' face. They broke his face. This man destroyed bone in his face, and yet they turn around and can't call him a cheater because he passed all his VADA tests yet again, the most stringent testing in boxing possible. So if he keeps passing all of his VADA tests and they can't call Billy Joe Saunders, oh, he cheated against, they can't say that. So what can they say? What can they say? Oh, he was getting outboxed. He was losing up until the stoppage, which is BS. It was a competitive, close fight. But that's what happens when you face top-level, elite-level, skilled fighters. And when Canelo Alvarez broke his face, what was the credit? It was always about an excuse. They said he was exposed in that fight. How in the hell is he exposed and he breaks Billy Joe Saunders' face? Make it make sense. But they didn't call him a cheater because he kept passing VADA tests. And then you get the Caleb Sweet Cheeks Plant, Caleb Vanilla Ice Plant, Caleb, who have I fought Plant. He came out and stated that, hey, Canelo Alvarez is a cheater. He's an intentional cheater. Now, here's the funny thing, in which makes no sense about what Caleb Plant is saying. How is Canelo Alvarez an intentional cheater? And one, he keeps passing VADA tests. Two, he signed up for the most stringent VADA testing to fight you, stupid. He's enrolled in the most stringent VADA testing to fight you. So what kind of cheater, who's the A side, who can dictate terms, would sign up for stringent VADA testing to fight you if he's going to cheat? Make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. If he has intention to cheat, why would he sign up for VADA? That would catch him cheating. It doesn't make sense. Caleb Plant looks like the dummy of the day. And not only that, Caleb Plant's own daddy, the one he kisses in the mouth, Victor Conti, came out and applauded Canelo Alvarez for enrolling in VADA testing. A full 10-week camp, complete transparency. And at the end of the day, this guy looks like an idiot for even saying that, because you don't enroll in testing, you don't go through stringent testing, complete transparency, if you plan to cheat. It doesn't make sense. These guys cannot get stupider than this. And here's the nail in the coffin for these fanboys. They say, well, Canelo, he failed the drug test years ago. He was exonerated, stupid. He was exonerated from any wrongdoing following his positive test back in 2018. One, that was years ago. Two, he was exonerated. I didn't exonerate him. You can say, oh, IBFP, who are you? I didn't exonerate him, moron. The WBC exonerated him. WADA, the World Anti-Doping Association, exonerated him. All of these people exonerate him. I didn't exonerate him. That's what you don't understand, you morons. This man was cleared, and for years, he's never popped dirty again. This biggest fights, he's shown improvement. How could he be on the juice, and he's being constantly VADA tested fight after fight after fight? Make it make sense. Not only that, even Dan Raphael has been posting to Caleb Plant so he can understand. His own article that he wrote about it with all the research basically saying test results show no intention to cheat. No intention to cheat. That's why he was exonerated. You cannot make it make sense with fanboys, because these guys are all about their feelings and never about the facts. Because men lie, women lie, but the facts don't lie.